French schools are going to allow teenagers to smoke within the school grounds, and this is well, this is because after the terror attacks in France, they've decided to relax the rules and to stop children teenagers going outside the school playgrounds to smoke, because they think there's a danger that if they go outside the playgrounds, they're vulnerable to radicalisation, that people can approach them while they hang around in groups smoking. And at the moment, a third of French teenagers actually smoke. So that's a pretty shocking statistic.
That's a lot, yeah.
And now they're going to be allowed to do it in school.
Yeah, but when I heard the reason why, I reluctantly could see the logic behind it.
I don't agree at all.
That's like saying a slippery slope.
Well, you know, and it's like saying, well, we better let them smoke in school because if they go out, they could be attacked or they could be abducted.
No.
I mean, how... That you're not allowed to smoke anywhere now.
Where does that lead to? I mean, if you're going to allow them to smoke in school, where does that lead to? You can't say, well, they can drink in school, they can do it. I mean, you've got to have boundaries, you've got to have rules, haven't you? I mean, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah, well, there's another story about smoking in the news, isn't there? The World Health Organization wants all films that show people smoking, like Grease, to get an adult rating. So going forward, obviously in the past, loads of people just routinely smoked in films. And they think that, you know, if someone smokes, children shouldn't be allowed to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that, though, because I think smoking, you know, I think probably whenever any of us smoked, it was to look cool. Yeah. So when we first started smoking or first tried a cigarette, it was always to look cool. Mine was, there was a certain advert on, cool as a mountain stream. Do you remember her with the blonde hair? That's when I first tried cigarettes, because I thought I'll look like, I look like that. So I think it's very powerful. You know, if they see their idols or, you know, pop stars and things smoking, it makes kids think it's cool.
But, you know, do you have a watershed then? Do you say, right, you can't have smoking till after 9 o'clock? I mean, do you do that? I don't know, because they smoke
on television.
On the soaps, they smoke.
Well, you know, when you told me that earlier this morning, I was really shocked, because I just assumed that as you can't have cigarette advertising on television, I assumed that pre-watershed, pre-9 o'clock, you shouldn't be smoking either.
So did I.
Look at Dot Cotton.
Well, it's shocking. It's just shocking because it normalises it.
I do think there is a point where...
But then they might
agree with you with that.
Then it doesn't reflect real life. You know, soaps are supposed to reflect real life. So if you had nobody smoking, it would probably be a bit odd, because it doesn't reflect real life, because people do smoke.
But that's a fine line. Then they'd have to swear all the time.
Well, what do you think, Colleen?
You've got to stop.
Colleen's the token smoker here.
Oh, all right.
The little horn.
The thing is, I grew up in a time when everybody smoked. It was on telly. The adverts were on telly. As a child, I used to go and buy my dad cigarettes, you know. My dad was a really heavy smoker. There was nothing about TV advertising or me seeing them in the shops that started me smoking. What started me smoking was when I used to go to the stables at the time when I was younger, and it was older girls from a year above me to 2 years above me who all smoked.
Yeah.
And my thing was I wanted to be part of that gang and feel grown up, and aren't I, you know... And it was them, it was peer pressure of that age, and I hate the fact I fell for that, but I was young and I did.
But also, it was boyfriends. If you wanted a boyfriend, in my time, you know, like, there was a gorgeous boy and he smoked. And everybody round him smoked. So I smoked because I thought, well, that'll make him like me. And it didn't. But I did. And I know, it's a sad old life. But the thing is, I do remember smoking a lot, but making myself physically sick with it.
Yeah.
Because I fancied him so much. But my mother was a model, and she used to catwalk model with a cigarette. And you can't imagine that nowadays.
Well, I was saying to Jack the other day, I can't remember why we were talking about it, and said, oh, you know, people used to smoke on planes.
Yeah.
And his face, he was like, what? And I said, yeah, and trains.
Restaurants.
And people, and he could not believe it that anybody would...
And I think
he's going, on a plane, oh, that's disgusting.
And I do, and he's right, and I think it's fabulous nowadays, you know, that we do have to go outside, and even at home now, no one's allowed to smoke in the house, you have to go outside. And my kids hate it. I mean...
So they nag you?
Oh, they hate it. And Shane Jr., who's now 27, has actually... I don't think he's ever had any kind of relationship with a girl that smokes, because he can't bear it. Instantly puts him off.
Yeah. Well, I'm like that. I couldn't, you know, looking back through the pick and mix buffet of all the men I've been with... and I don't think this being a smoker. In fact, I was married to someone who was a secret smoker
yeah.
who went to great lengths to
He was frightened
You
of
can't
you.
disguise it.
He smoked in the garage, and then he had to have a triple bypass on my health insurance.
Did you ever smoke?
Well, that's because
wasn't
he
happy.
wasn't a smoker until he started going out with you,
Yeah,
and you drove him to it. The stress.
But I do think that, you know, it's a serious problem how you get the message across to stop people smoking. We've had loads of comments from viewers here. Charlotte says, I've got to wear 2 pairs of glasses at once here. Charlene says, this is contradictory advice. She's talking about the French people. We tell kids smoking is bad for their health and then say, oh, but you can do it here. No, no, no.
Yeah.
And what about Becky says, what about the children who don't smoke? They would be breathing in the toxic
that's
fumes
true.
with the children who
Yeah,
do.
that is right.
And Mia says, my college used to let us smoke in the smoking area. Now they've got rid of the smoking area and the same amount of people smoke, except now they annoy the neighbours. Yeah, I hate people on the street smoking. Because I know now...
With our cheap glasses.
Outside, yeah. Sorry. I
can't take you seriously.
I'm making a serious point here. I know now we ban smoking in public places. Can they not congregate within 25 yards of my front door?